Okay, we're going to do the same thing we did in the last packet, but there's a little hook to it. You have to convert that from standard to vertex. So you're going to use B divide. You can't get out of order in this. You have to follow my lead. So is there another way? No, there's not. Okay. So we can get past that right now. You need to put x squared there with a 1. Okay. Here's the problem that didn't happen in the last packet. It's not a 1, it's a 4. Okay. To get this to be 1x squared, you divide this and this, not the 17. I kicked him out. Both those get divided by 4. Now the 4 that I'm dividing by now rolls out here. Okay. And then that's going to be minus 10x. So again, that's why it's so important you drop the x squared, and if it doesn't match, you need to divide the first and second, not by 4x. We want just by 4. We want this to stay x squared and x. So I have an a, a b, and then a c. So b is 10. And after that's done, cross that out. Don't be looking there. Okay. B is 10. 10 divided by 2 is 5 to the second. That's 25. Now here's the second thing you can't mess up. You didn't just bring in 25. You brought in 25 times 4. Okay, because there's a 4. That did not happen in the last one. So you brought in 25 times 4. That's 100, so it's 100 plus y. Then I quickly minus the 100 under the 17. So those are the two main differences. Now you just factor this, okay? The 4 will stay in the equation. Now rewrite that trinomial in factored form. 25. It's got to add to negative 10, so they would match as negatives, and it'd be 5. Your a is a 1 now, which is why you do that, so you can just go x, because it's 1x squared, minus 5, minus 5. Negative 17 minus 100 is negative 117. So you write 4x minus 5 to the second minus 117, and voila. Pick a number. Let's pick 2. Let's put 2 into the original. So 4 times 2 to the second minus 40 times 2 minus 17. Negative 81. Now let's see if it's negative 81. 2 minus 5 to the second minus 117. Bingo. Got it. Next one. Set that up so you're ready to go. And away we go. Put x squared there. Now that don't match, so you are going to go up and divide both these two, not the 17, by negative 2. Okay? So negative 2 comes out and it remains in the problem. Okay? Now that's 1x squared, which is x squared, minus 8x plus my c. And this is my b, this is my a. Okay? So b going to be 8. If it's negative 8, who cares? It's still 8. That's 4. Even if it was negative 4 to the second, it's still 16, Jack. Okay? Now, you brought in a 16, but the 16 is multiplied by negative 2, so you need to times it by negative 2. So 16 times negative 2 is negative 32, so it's negative 32 plus y. Okay? Then you plus 32 to get rid of the negative 32, and then you plus it to that. So again, yeah, you plus 16, but you plus 16 times negative 2. Okay? So you're going to write plus 16, but then dot negative 2, and then figure out that product, and then get rid of that product, put it with the negative 17. Okay, 1 times 16, 16 positive. It's got to add to negative 8. Negative 4 and 4 square. There you have it. You can get rid of your 1 because it's a 1x squared. It'd be x minus 4 followed by another x minus 4, And then negative 17 plus 32 is 15. Okay? Now I've told you how to check the answer. Let's pick 6. So negative 2 times 6 to the second plus 16 times 6 minus 17. 7. Maybe this is 7. Yup. Okay, next problem. B over 2 to the second table. You always need to put x squared with the 1. If it ain't a 1, then you go divide both of these by 3. 3 don't go away though, it remains, okay? That's going to be a minus an 8x, and that's my A, that's my B, and I use those to come up with my C. So B will be 8, it's negative 8, doesn't matter. 4 to the second, 16. But I plus 16, but it's 16 times 3, okay? Because that's the distributive property. 16 times 3 is 48, so cross that out, put 48, and then minus your 48 from your negative 60. Okay, 1 times 16 is 16 positive. Has to add to negative 8. Square root of 16 is 4. They'd have to match as negatives. There you go. So you can ditch your 1. It's just x minus 4 times another x minus 4. Negative 60 minus 48 is negative 108. So minus 108. So 3x minus 4 quantity squared minus 108. All day. Okay. Here, I'll give some room here. Okay. So you can see what I'm kind of doing. Hopefully you heard it, but B divided by 2 to the second. And you make your parentheses, kick out your minus 14. This supposed has to be 1x squared. If it ain't, you go up and divide by your negative 10. Now does negative 10 just go away? Heck no. It comes out here. Goes like that. That's a negative 10 there. Okay. So that's 1x squared, and that's going to be minus 6x. So A, B, and now I'm good to find my C. So B, 6 divided by 2 is 3, 3 to the second is 9. So again, you plus 9, but 9 is times by negative 10, okay? So 9 times negative 10 is negative 90, okay? So to bring over the negative 90, you plus 90 to the negative 14. Okay, now factor 1 times 9 is 9. It's got to add to negative 6, so they would have to match signs as negatives, and the square root of 9 is 3. Okay. So x minus 3 minus 3. Then I take my negative 14 and add 90, 76. So negative 10, x minus 3 to the second, plus 76. Next problem. Put the 1x squared. Oh, I think we already have a match, so I don't need to divide. Okay, so there's going to be nothing coming out there. Okay, so it already matches, so I do not need to divide. B is 24, so 12 to the second is 144. So I brought in a 144. And since there's nothing I divided out, it's just 144. I don't need to find any products. Minus it from your 2. Now factoring time. 144 positive. You're adding to get to negative 24. Look up at the board. What's square root of 120 or 144? It's 12. They would have to match as negatives. And there you have it. So that's not important. So x minus 12, x minus 12. Taking 2 minus 144 is negative 142. So we have x minus 12 quantity squared minus 142. Okay, next up. Anytime the directions say complete the square, you're going to need to use that. Okay. You put 1x squared. If that ain't a 1x squared, you have to divide this and this by 9 to make it a 1x squared. So 9 rolls out, minus 2x, and now I have an a and a b. So b will be the negative 2, negative 1 to the second. Guys, here's why it doesn't matter if you don't put the negative. Taking negative 1 times itself is still 1. Okay. Now, I did not just bring in 1. I put plus 1, but it's 1 times 9. 1 times 9 is 9, okay? So I'm going to be taking out the 9. Minus 9, minus 9, okay? Okay, drop that 9 that I divided by, keeps going in front. And then I factor the trinomial. 1 times 1 is 1. A lot of people forget to put the 9. You can't do that. I'm going to dock you if you do. Okay, we have to add to get to, whoops, sorry, I did that wrong. It's 1 times 1. We have to add to negative 2, so this should probably match as negatives, and the square root of 1 is 1. Times those, it's positive 1. Add them, it's negative 2. So you can drop the 1. It's just x minus 1 minus 1. 3 minus 9 is negative 6. Okay, so it's 9 times x minus 1 quantity squared minus 6. Two more. B over 2 squared, and then the table. You gotta have 1x squared there. If you don't, you have to go up and divide both your first and second terms by negative 9, not the third because I kicked that out. So negative 9 does not go away, it just rolls out there. That's going to be minus 4x. Positive 36 divided by negative 9. Now we get our c. So 4 divided by 2 is 2 to the second, that's 4. So you put plus 4. Do I have to multiply 4 by something? I sure do. Negative 9. 4 times negative 9 is negative 36. Then you add 36 under the negative 4. Now you factor. The negative 9 does not just go bye-bye though. It remains. Okay, 1 times 4 is 4. Okay, we got to add to negative 4, so they need to match signs as negatives. What's square root of 4? Probably 2. There you have it. Ditch your a. So it's x minus 2 times x minus 2. Negative 4 plus 36 is plus 32. And then x minus 2 to the second plus 32. There it is, okay. Last one. You need repetition for this to get good, okay. Kick out the plus 1, then you always put x squared with a 1. If it doesn't match that, well, you need to divide. And you don't just throw the 3 away. 3 just remains in front. It rolls to the outside. So now that divided by that's minus 6x. And now it's time to get myself my c that I want. So b 6 or negative 6, doesn't matter. That's 9. Plus 9, but it's 9 times 3. 9 times 3, 27. Okay? So then you minus 27. Okay, now it's pretty academic. 1 times 9 is 9, positive. We got to add to negative 6. Signs need to match, both negatives. Be 3 by 3. Okay. So x squared is x times x. Plus 9 adding to negative 6 is minus 3 times minus 3. Minus 26. So 3x minus 3 squared minus 26.